Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this finds you well. This is the card I have to share with you. It's this gorgeous little treat card, and if you open it up, you'll see that not only is the paper on a diagonal at the front, we also have a piece of paper on the diagonal on the inside, and this acts as a little tuck spot. So you can put a gift voucher in there, gift cards, um, some little ephemera, whatever you like. So I think it matches really well with the title of the card, the sentiment, treat yourself. So let's get started. And you can see here, I'm going to use different colored DSP, designer series paper, to the one I used in the sample. This is the Unbound Beauty designer series paper, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous pack of pattern paper. I absolutely love it. I've nearly used up a whole pack already. And we're just going to cut this point to point, so diagonally across the edge, and I'm cutting both pieces together, and these pieces measure 14.35 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and as you can see, I just cut them both together. That way they will mix and match perfectly. Okay, so let's separate these pieces out and decide how we want these to look on the front of our card. So we have this one piece, and then I'm deciding what I want on my top. Do I want to have this one? Yes. And then I think, no, should I have it that way round? And I can't decide. Do I want that? No, we'll stick with this one. And I'm an R a little bit until I get myself sorted out. And I think what I started with is what I'm going to end up with. Maybe. We'll see. Let's have a look and see what I do. Seems like this is the one I stick with. Yep. So there we go. So now we're going to stick those down using some Tombow Mono adhesive, which is one of my favourite wet glues to use, except here it's fighting me, didn't want to come out. And we're just going to put this down. And this is one of my favourite card designs, is to, if you're not sure what to do with some pattern paper, is to just cut it up, either into diagonals or into panels or into strips, and then piece it back together. And it just gives something added interest instead of just a plain piece of paper on the back of your card. So you can see here we've got some lovely patterns on this paper. It really shows off the new ink colours perfectly. And you can see here the colour here I'm using mainly is pumpkin pie, not pumpkin pie, peach pie I should say. I love the Stampin' Up names for their colours. I think they're just lovely. They're just hilarious. They're just... Anyway, so now we're going to decide which piece you want on the inside for our tuck spot. Do you want that one or that one? And we'll go for this one. And what we're going to do is put a bead of glue along two sides. So you can see here, just a small little bead of glue, if whatever wants to come out. There, just along the bottom and along the long edge there. Well, not the long edge, but along two edges of the right angle, but not the hypotenuse edge. Okay. I'm going to stick that down and just let it set. And that is the basis of our card done. So let's focus now on our decoration. So we're going to set all of these bits aside and we're going to do a little stamping. And the stamps that we're going to use is a new one from the new annual catalogue, and it's called Attention Shoppers. And I've used it already, but we're going to use it again today. And this time we're just going to use these little gift bags here in the corner. But I love this little shopping cart that you've got here, and you can put all these different elements in your shopping trolley. So really fun. Okay, so we're going to stamp initially our sentiment here in peach pie. And our sentiment obviously says treat yourself, and I think that really works well with the little gift bags and with the gift card holder inside of the card. So let's close up our stamp. Our ink pad. As you know, I always close up my ink pads after use, not because they're going to dry out quickly, but because I don't want to put something in them that's not meant to be there, and then I've ruined my project. I don't know how many times I've heard people being upset because they put their card in an opening pad by mistake. So I tend to close everything up and tidy up as I go along to try and limit the possibility of an accident happening. So there we go. We've stamped our little treat bag twice, and we stamped that in Memento Tuxedo black ink, because we're going to be colouring in using the Stampin' Blend alcohol markers. But firstly, we're just going to punch out our sentiment. And now I am using my punches here. Now one of these punches is retired, and this is the 2-inch punch here. You can see here, and I'm just punching this out. I'm not sure if this one is retired or not, but they're both available. No, they both are online exclusives. Sometimes I'm not quite sure because I love my circle punches and I've kept them all, even if they're retired or not, because I just can't live without them. So now I'm deciding whether I want to punch out from the peach pie cardstock, and I decide to actually use up the other piece of designer series paper that we had, so nothing goes to waste. And this will just bring in a little extra pop of colour to our card. So now we're just going to layer our sentiment on top of that. And doesn't that look good? And just going to use a little bit of glue again. And it's fighting me because I'm at the very end of my glue, and like most crafters, I want to get every little bit out of that bottle, so I'm going to fight it until there's nothing left in it. I'm sure many of you can relate to that you, as crafters, we can be quite frugal and we want to use everything, and we want to make sure we waste nothing. So yeah, that looks good. So let's get on and do some colouring. And as I said, I'm going to use the Stampin' Blend alcohol markers, and I'm going to now fast forward the coverage so that you don't have to sit and watch me colour in real time, though you can slow this down if you want using the functions on YouTube. So I'm just colouring my bag in here, and for that I'm using soft seafoam, as you can see, and I'm just going in firstly with my darker colour, and then I'm going to blend everything out with my lighter colour, and then I tend to go back to the darker colour if I feel I've blended everything out a bit too much. And it doesn't show up on camera the same way as it does in real life, so I'm really sorry about that, but it doesn't. You'll see in the still shots on my blog how it really does look. So if you are enjoying this video, this is a good time to say please do consider subscribing and give it a big thumbs up so that YouTube knows. It really does help make my videos much more visible on YouTube, and I would really, really appreciate it. So now I'm just colouring in my little tissue paper as I think of it at the top, and I'm using, of course, peach pie because that's the colour we've used in the background of our card, and I'm doing the same as before. I'm just going with the darker colour and then blending out with a lighter colour. But of course you could have used also some of the other colours from the in colours, which are Summer Splash, Petunia Pop, Shy Shamrock, and Pretty in Pink. I think actually Summer Splash would have looked really good because that's the colour that we've used to matte our sentiments. But unfortunately I didn't have those that blends with me when I was filming, so I used what I had. And there we go. There are our little gift bags. Don't they look cute? And as you can see, sometimes I don't know when to leave things well alone, so I'm going back in with my darker colour, trying to add a little bit more shading and shadows around. And then we're going to cut these out, I should say, with the matching dies. The attention shoppers do have matching dies which cut everything out. So here I'm showing you that die. I'm going to put that through the die cutting machine. And with the magic of video editing, everything is die cut and ready to go. So let's start to assemble our card, decide how we want to arrange things, and make sure we're happy with it. I'm going to try and offset my sentiment a little bit to the left, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along one edge of my treat bag so that I can attach it to the other one. So now I've got a little cluster. Now we are going to pop up our sentiment on some dimensionals, and as you know I am generous with my foam adhesive, so there'll be lots of backings unfortunately to take off. And if you're like me, I detest taking backings off the dimensionals, but it's a necessary evil, as they say. And I don't know if you're the same, but those backings do migrate around the house. However hard I try to keep them in the bin, they don't seem to want to stay there, and they seem to follow me around the house. Let me know if you also have the same predicament, or whether they're just peculiar to me maybe. Okay, let's take these off, and I've put dimensionals on one side of the treat bags and a little bit of glue on the other side where it's going to overlap the sentiment. So everything now will sit nice and level. So now we're just going to do a little bit of embellishments, and I'm trying to decide what colour ribbon I want to use. And I'm going to use Summer Splash, because that's the colour, as I said, that we've used to map the sentiment. And I'm just struggling here, of course, to make a bow, because as you know, I'm definitely bow challenged. Bows and me don't go very well together. I'm just trying to get the tails sort of the same length. And here you can see I just make a little notch in the top of my ribbon, as you can see there in the cardboard at the top, with some strong scissors, and then I just notch my ribbon in there, and that really does stop it from fraying and from it, unwinding all over the drawer. And I've tried many different things, and I found that to be the best thing that works for me. So I've just attached my ribbon using some glue dots, and now final embellishments, we're going to use some of these in color shimmer gems, and I'm just going to put a few of these dotted here and there around my card, just to give a little bit of something something. And I'm just going to put one more. I'm trying to decide which colour I want. So I just put 3 just for a little bit of a visual triangle. And there you are. They're the 2 cards. You can tell me which colour where you prefer. So thank you for watching, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.